It started on a quiet Sunday morning in Los Angeles, the kind of morning where the world feels gentle, where sunlight kisses the kitchen counter and the coffee smells like peace. Ryan Carter sat by the window, watching the soft rain hit the pavement. His life, at least from the outside, looked perfect. A successful architect, a beautiful wife, a comfortable home, and a future that seemed steady as the sunrise. But perfection is a fragile illusion, one that cracks without making a sound. Ryan looked at his wife, Lily. She was making pancakes, humming to herself, that soft hum she always made when she was pretending everything was fine. Her hair fell loose over her shoulder, her smile bright enough to light up the room, and yet her eyes were somewhere else, somewhere distant, somewhere he couldn't reach anymore. He smiled anyway, because that's what love does. It keeps trying, even when it's bleeding inside. "Coffee's ready?" he asked. Lily turned startled, as if she didn't expect him to still be there. "Oh, yeah, just made it." Her voice trembled, slightly. Only someone who truly knew her could notice, and Ryan did. He noticed everything. The way she now took her phone with her even to the bathroom, the late nights working on her laptop, the sudden disinterest in small talks, and the way she no longer looked at him the same way. Love teaches you people's patterns. Betrayal teaches you when they break. Ryan took a sip of his coffee. It was cold. He looked at her again, wondering when she became a stranger. Lily smiled at him. "You're quiet today." He nodded, trying to keep his voice steady. "Just tired." They both lied, in the same sentence, in the same silence. Later that day, Ryan drove to his office downtown. It was a 30-minute drive, but his mind replayed moments from the past. Their first date, the night he proposed under the city lights, her laughter echoing through his tiny apartment, and the promise they made, always honest, always together. Some promises, it turns out, are only true until someone gets bored. At the office, his best friend Mark stopped by his desk. Mark had been in his life since college, confident, charming, the kind of man everyone liked instantly. "Man, you look like hell. Everything okay?" I forced a smile. "Yeah, just tired. Too much work." "Well, tell Lily she needs to take you out. That woman's magic." "Yeah, she is." But something in Mark's voice, the casual familiarity, felt off, like he knew something Ryan didn't. He shook it off. Paranoia, he told himself. Marriages go through phases. Everyone says that. That night, Ryan came home late. Lily was already asleep, or pretending to be. Her phone was on the nightstand, screen glowing faintly. A message popped up just as he entered the room. It said, "I miss you. Can't wait for tomorrow." No name, just a heart emoji. Ryan froze. His chest tightened. He stood there for a long minute, the air heavy, the clock ticking like a bomb. Then he did something strange. He smiled, a small, broken smile, because part of him already knew. He walked to the balcony, looked out over the city, and whispered to himself, "So this is how it ends." The next morning, Lily acted normal, too normal. She kissed him on the cheek, told him she had to meet a client downtown, and left early. Ryan didn't confront her, not yet. He needed to be sure. He spent the day trying to focus on blueprints, but his mind kept wandering. The text, the sudden meetings, the late-night phone calls, it all made sense now. By evening, he made a decision. He called his old college friend, Chris, who worked in private investigations. "Hey Ryan, it's been a while. What's up?" "I need a favor. Discreet one." Chris paused. "You think she's cheating?" Ryan didn't answer. Silence said enough. 2 days later, Ryan sat in his car, heart pounding. Chris had sent him photos. Lily, in a cafe, smiling, leaning in close, her hand brushing someone else's. Ryan opened the second photo, and his world collapsed. It was Mark, his best friend, the man who stood by him at his wedding, the man who toasted their love, the man he trusted with everything. For a long time, Ryan just sat there staring at the photos. The air felt thin, every breath hurt. He didn't scream, didn't cry, just stared. Betrayal isn't loud, it's quiet. It seeps into your bones, replaces your heartbeat with silence. That night, he came home late again. Lily was watching TV, pretending everything was fine. "Rough day?" she asked. He nodded. "Yeah." He sat beside her, close enough to smell her perfume, the same one she wore the night he proposed. And for a moment, he wanted to forgive her, pretend he didn't know, pretend life could still go back to how it was. But then her phone buzzed again. Another message. She looked nervous, quickly hid it. Ryan looked at her, his voice calm. "You can tell me if something's wrong." Lily blinked, forcing a smile. "Nothing's wrong." He smiled too. "Okay." He walked to the kitchen, took a deep breath, and whispered to himself, "One last time, I'll let you lie." He looked out the window. Rain was falling again, soft and endless, the same way it was that first Sunday morning. Only this time, it didn't smell like peace. It smelled like endings. Ryan spent the night sitting in his studio, staring at old photographs. Their wedding, their first home, their smiles. He realized something painful. The woman in those photographs didn't exist anymore. And maybe the man who loved her didn't either. The next morning, he made another decision. He wouldn't confront her in anger. He would reclaim his dignity, his calm, and his truth silently. Because sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't destruction, it's self-respect. As the sun rose over Los Angeles, Ryan whispered, "You can take my love, Lily, but you can't take my peace." And with that, he began the quiet war inside his soul. A war not to hurt her, but to heal himself. The betrayal had begun, but so had his rebirth.
The days that followed were a blur, silent, slow, and heavy. Ryan moved through his life like a ghost, his smile rehearsed, his eyes empty. He still went to work, still greeted his colleagues, still came home every night to the woman he once believed would never hurt him. But inside, he was dying a little more each day. Lily didn't notice, or maybe she did and just didn't care anymore. She was always busy. Meetings, clients, sudden phone calls that required her to step outside. And Ryan, calm as a still lake, let her play her part. Because now he was watching. Not with love, but with quiet calculation. He started keeping track. Dates, times, excuses. Every moment she said she was somewhere, he noted it down. Every lie she told, he wrote it in his heart. At night, when she fell asleep, he'd look at her, the same face he once thought he'd grow old with, and feel nothing but disbelief. How can someone promise you forever and then betray you without blinking? One evening, as she showered, Ryan took her phone. His hands trembled, but his face remained calm. The password was still the same. Love had made her careless. The message threads were there, hundreds of them, with Mark. They talked about everything, their meetings, their secret trips, their moments together. He scrolled in silence, each word carving a wound deeper than the last. "I can't wait to see you again. He doesn't even suspect a thing. You make me feel alive again." Ryan stopped reading. He placed the phone back, slowly, carefully. then walked to the bathroom mirror and looked at himself. He didn't recognize the man staring back. Tired eyes, pale skin, a hollow smile. That's what betrayal does. It steals not just your trust, but your reflection. The next morning, Ryan met Chris again. Chris handed him a small folder. It's all there, man. Pictures, call logs, locations. She's been meeting him at that downtown hotel every Tuesday. Ryan didn't open it. He just held it, heavy in his hand, like a coffin filled with memories. Chris looked at him with pity. "You want me to confront them?" Ryan shook his head. "No, not yet." Because Ryan wasn't ready for chaos. He wanted clarity. He wanted control. That night, when Lily came home late again, Ryan greeted her with a calm smile. "Long day?" She nodded tiredly. "You know how it is." He nodded. "Yeah, I do." He walked behind her, holding the folder, and for a second, he imagined slamming it down, screaming, demanding answers. But instead, he placed it on his desk. Quiet, gentle, deadly. Betrayal thrives on noise. Dignity grows in silence. A few days later, Lily mentioned a business trip. 3 days out of town. Ryan smiled. "That's great. You deserve a break." She smiled too, relieved, maybe even proud of her lie. That night, Ryan called Chris. "I need you to follow her again. I need to know where she really goes." Chris sighed. "Are you sure you want to see this?" Ryan's voice was steady. "I've already seen it. Now I just need to finish it." On the morning of her trip, Ryan helped her pack. He even kissed her goodbye at the door. "Be safe," he said softly. Lily hugged him, eyes gentle. "I'll miss you." And for the first time in years, he saw it clearly. That wasn't guilt in her eyes. It was pity. When the door closed, Ryan stood still for a long moment. Then he exhaled. "It's over," he whispered. Hours later, Chris sent him photos again. Lily and Mark. Same hotel, same embrace. But this time, Ryan didn't flinch. He felt something deeper. Peace. Not because the pain was gone, but because the truth was finally free. That night, Ryan sat in his studio again, staring at the city lights through the rain-streaked window. He opened his laptop and began writing a letter, not to accuse, not to insult, but to release. "Lily, you once told me that love is about trust. I believed you. I built my life around those words. I trusted you with everything, my heart, my dreams, my silence. You didn't just betray me, you destroyed the home we built. But I'm not writing this to hurt you. I'm writing this to thank you. Because now I finally see the truth. You didn't break me, you revealed me. You showed me who I am when everything falls apart. And I like that man. He's calm, patient, and stronger than I ever knew. You taught me that love without honesty is just decoration. So I'm letting you go. Not with anger, but with grace. Because my peace is worth your lies. Ryan." He saved the letter but didn't send it yet. Instead, he began preparing, quietly, moving funds, organizing documents, separating what was his from what they once shared. Every move was deliberate, controlled, elegant. He had lost love, but he refused to lose himself. A week later, Lily returned home. Her smile was bright, her laughter louder than usual, guilt disguised as joy. Ryan acted normal too. He cooked dinner, poured wine, listened to her stories. Every laugh she faked, he matched. Every lie she told, he caught, silently. When she finally went to bed, Ryan stood in the kitchen alone, whispering to himself, "You'll never know when I stop loving you, but I already have." The following morning, Ryan drove to the coast. He sat by the ocean for hours, watching the waves crash against the rocks. The sea didn't judge, it just listened. He thought of the years they spent together, the laughter, the plans, the quiet mornings, and then he realized something powerful. Love and betrayal can't live in the same heart. One must die for the other to survive. So he buried the love, right there with the waves as his witness. That night, he came home late again. Lily was asleep. He looked at her one last time, her soft breathing, the familiar scent of her perfume, the same woman who once meant the world to him. He whispered, "Goodbye, Lily," and walked out of the bedroom. He didn't leave the house, not yet, but in his heart, he was already gone. The proof was real, the pain was deep, but beneath it all, something new was growing: strength. Because the truth, once seen, cannot be unseen. And for Ryan Carter, the man who had once loved blindly, this was the beginning of his awakening. He wasn't the broken husband anymore. He was the man who chose dignity over revenge, peace over chaos, and silence over noise. The storm had passed. Now came the calm before the reckoning.
Morning came with sunlight, sharp and golden, cutting through the blinds. The same light that once made their bedroom feel warm now felt intrusive, like it was revealing the truth she thought she had buried in the dark. Ryan stood in front of the mirror, tying his tie, every motion deliberate. Behind him, Lily stirred in bed, half awake, her hair a mesh of quiet lies and fading dreams. "Morning?" she murmured, her voice soft. "Morning," he replied, his tone calm, distant, unreadable. He looked at her reflection in the mirror, the woman he used to chase with words, laughter, and flowers. Now she was just a shadow of the person he once loved. He smiled faintly. "You have any plans today?" She stretched and yawned. "Just the usual. Meetings, lunch with clients." Ryan nodded. "Of course." Every lie she spoke now sounded like a cracked bell. The sound was there, but the meaning was gone. He kissed her forehead before leaving, and she smiled as if everything were fine. But inside, Ryan's mind was no longer a battlefield. It was strategy. Quiet, precise, icy. He drove to his office and called Chris once more. "I need one last thing," he said. Chris sounded hesitant. "You sure, man? You've got enough proof already." "I'm not doing this out of anger," Ryan said calmly. "I just want closure." That word, closure, echoed in his mind all morning as he worked. For years, he'd designed buildings that could withstand storms. Now he was designing his own foundation, one that could stand after love's destruction. That afternoon, he visited a lawyer, a quiet, discreet man named Harris. Ryan laid everything on the table, the photos, the messages, the truth. Harris listened carefully, eyes narrowing slightly. "You could take her for everything," Harris said. Ryan shook his head. "I don't want revenge. I just want peace. My house, my work, my name." Harris nodded slowly. "Most men would want blood." Ryan smiled faintly. "That's the difference. I'm not most men anymore." He signed the papers, silent preparations for a future without her. He didn't tell Lily, not yet. Timing was everything. When he came home that evening, Lily was dressed beautifully, soft makeup, a red dress, perfume heavy in the air. "We're going out tonight," she said, her voice almost cheerful. "Oh," asked Ryan. "Yes, dinner. I want us to reconnect. We've been distant." Ryan smiled. "Sure, let's do that." At the restaurant, they sat across from each other under dim golden light. People around them laughed, clinking glasses, celebrating love. The irony wasn't lost on him. Lily reached for his hand. "Ryan, I know things have been off lately. I just want to fix us." He looked at her, his expression soft. "You want to fix us?" "Yes," she said quickly. "I know I haven't been perfect, but I love you." For a moment, her voice almost convinced him. Almost. But he had seen the photos, the lies, the secret messages. Her words now were like perfume on decay, sweet, but meaningless. He squeezed her hand gently and said, "I believe you." She smiled, relief flooding her eyes. He smiled back, but behind that calm expression was a storm she could never see. They returned home late. Lily leaned on his shoulder during the drive, humming softly. Ryan didn't move, didn't react, just watched the empty streets blur by. When they arrived, she kissed him, a long, desperate kiss. "I love you," she whispered again. "I know." She went upstairs to change. He stayed in the living room, looking at the wedding photo on the wall, their smiles frozen in a lie that had lasted too long. The next day, Ryan executed his plan. He scheduled a meeting with Mark, casual, friendly, over lunch. Mark arrived, smiling, confident, shaking Ryan's hand as if nothing in the world could go wrong. "Man, good to see you. How's work? How's Lily?" Ryan looked at him steadily. "She's great. You'd know that better than I do, right?" The color drained from his face. He stuttered. What are you talking about?" Ryan slid a small envelope across the table. Inside were photos, messages, proof. Mark's hands trembled. "Ryan, it's not—" "Don't lie. Not to me. Not anymore." He leaned back, pale and shaken. I didn't mean for it to happen. It just—" Ryan cut him off. "You betrayed me, Mark. You took my trust and you traded it for lust. You don't get to explain that away." He opened his mouth again, but Ryan raised a hand. "Don't say another word. You've said enough in those messages." Silence fell between them. Ryan's voice softened. "You were my brother, Mark, my family, but now you're just another stranger." He stood up, calm, composed. "I'm not angry, not anymore. I just hope you both remember, when lies fade, truth remains." And then he walked away, leaving Mark speechless in the middle of the cafe. That evening, Ryan came home early. Lily was in the kitchen, cooking dinner, humming again. The same fake melody. He walked in, set his briefcase down, and said quietly, "We need to talk." Lily froze. "About what?" He placed the folder on the table. "About this." She turned pale instantly. Her lips trembled. "Ryan, I can explain." "No, you can't. Not anymore." Tears welled in her eyes. "It was a mistake. I didn't mean to hurt you." He nodded slowly. "Maybe you didn't mean to, but you did. And now there's nothing left to save." She stepped closer. "Please, don't do this. We can fix it." Ryan's voice broke, not from weakness, but from exhaustion. "I believed in you more than I believed in myself, and you turned that into ashes." He looked into her eyes one last time. "I'm not here to punish you, Lily. I'm here to let you go." She sobbed, reaching for him. "Ryan, please." He stepped back. "You made your choice. Now I'm making mine." He handed her an envelope, divorce papers quietly folded, no bitterness in sight. Lily stared at them, shaking. "You're serious?"
Ryan nodded completely. She collapsed into a chair, crying, "Ryan, I still love you." He looked down, calm but empty. Maybe. But love without honesty isn't love at all. He turned to leave, pausing by the door. "I hope someday you find what you were looking for, but it won't be me." Outside, the night was cool. The city lights shimmered, reflecting on his car window as he drove. For the first time in months, he felt weightless. Broken, yes, but free. He didn't look back, not once. At a red light, he whispered to himself, "I forgive you, Lily, but I'll never forget." And in that single breath, he reclaimed everything she had taken: his peace, his strength, his self-respect. The reckoning was done. He hadn't shouted, he hadn't destroyed, he had simply walked away, and that was his victory. That night, he slept alone for the first time in years, and for the first time, he actually rested. Because some endings aren't about loss, they're about awakening. The man who once begged for love was gone. In his place stood someone unshakable, someone reborn.
The sound of the rain against the window had become familiar to Ryan. It was the same every evening, soft, rhythmic, and cold. But tonight, it carried something else: clarity. For weeks, he had been lost between pain and anger, between remembering and forgetting. But as the storm outside grew louder, something inside him grew quieter. Lily had moved out of their house 3 weeks ago. Her things were gone, the rooms were half empty, and yet her presence clung to the walls like perfume that wouldn't fade. Sometimes Ryan caught himself expecting her to walk in, smile apologetically, and say, "Let's fix this." But she never did. Mark, the man who had been his best friend for nearly a decade, was also gone. His business partner, his confidant, his brother in everything but blood, had betrayed him in the cruelest way possible. Ryan had seen betrayal in movies, read about it in books, but nothing prepared him for its taste in real life. It was metallic, bitter, and slow to fade. When the truth had first come out, Ryan didn't scream, he didn't throw anything or lash out. Instead, he walked away. That quiet dignity confused people. His friends expected rage, maybe revenge, but he chose silence, because sometimes silence hurts more than any word ever could. Lily had called him every day after she left. At first, she begged. Then she cried. Then she accused him of giving up too easily. Each call ended the same way, Ryan hanging up before his voice could tremble. But tonight, as thunder cracked across the sky, she called again. He stared at the phone. Her name blinked across the screen. Lily. He hesitated, then answered. "Ryan?" Her voice was soft, fragile. I just wanted to know if you're okay." He let out a long breath. "You lost the right to ask me that." "I know," she whispered, "but I can't sleep. I keep thinking about what I did, about you, about us." Ryan didn't respond. "I thought I loved him," she continued, "but it was just confusion. He made me feel seen, and I thought that meant something. But it was you, Ryan. It was always you." Her voice cracked, and for a moment, Ryan felt something inside him flicker. Not love, just memory. "You didn't just cheat, Lily," he said quietly. "You destroyed the one thing that held us together, trust. And that doesn't rebuild overnight.
Or maybe ever. She sobbed on the other end. "Do you hate me?" He paused. "No," he said finally. "I don't hate you. I pity you. Because you lost something real for something temporary." And with that, he ended the call. Ryan stood before the bathroom mirror, looking at the reflection of a man he barely recognized. There were shadows under his eyes, lines of exhaustion across his face. But behind them there was strength, the kind that comes from surviving what you thought would destroy you. He had learned something about pain. It doesn't disappear, it transforms. And if you let it, it becomes power. The next morning, Ryan walked into his architecture firm for the first time since the incident. Some employees avoided his eyes. Others offered awkward sympathy. Mark had resigned, leaving behind a mess of unapproved contracts and unpaid bills. But Ryan wasn't broken anymore. He rolled up his sleeves and got to work. Slowly, piece by piece, he rebuilt what had been taken from him. Not his marriage, but his identity. Lily's life, meanwhile, was unraveling. Mark had grown distant after their affair went public. The guilt, the shame, it all became too much for him. Within weeks, he ended things, leaving Lily in a small apartment downtown. She called Ryan again one evening, crying harder this time. "I lost everything," she whispered. "I don't even have Mark. I just want to talk to you." Ryan listened quietly. For the first time, he didn't feel pain hearing her voice, only distance. "You made your choices. Now you have to live with them, just like I did." There was silence. Then softly she said, "Do you think there's a way back?" Ryan closed his eyes. "Not for us," he said, "but maybe for you. Forgive yourself, Lily. That's where it starts." Weeks passed. The storm, both literal and emotional, finally began to clear. Ryan found comfort in small things: morning coffee by the window, sketching new designs, long walks through the park. He wasn't the same man anymore, and maybe that was okay. One evening, he received a letter in the mail. No return address, but he recognized the handwriting immediately. It was Lily's. Inside was a short note. "Ryan, I finally understand what you meant by self-respect. You were never cruel. You were kind in a way I didn't deserve. I'm sorry, not because I lost you, but because I lost myself first. Thank you for teaching me what real love looks like. Dignified, patient, and strong." And she signed her name. Ryan folded the letter and placed it in a drawer, not out of bitterness, but closure. Months later, at a charity event, Ryan met someone new. Her name was Claire. She was warm, grounded, and kind. They talked for hours, not about pain, but about purpose. For the first time in a long time, Ryan laughed without feeling guilty. As he walked her to her car, the night sky above them was clear. No thunder, no rain, just peace. He looked up and thought, maybe this is what healing feels like.
The world didn't end the day Ryan's marriage did. It just changed its rhythm. It no longer moved to the pace of heartbreak or betrayal or loss, but to the quiet, steady beat of something else. Peace. Months had turned into a year since Lily walked out of his life, since the truth about her affair with Mark shattered everything Ryan thought he knew. But what he didn't realize back then was that sometimes destruction is not the end, it's a beginning in disguise. The mornings were different now. Ryan woke up early, brewed his coffee, and watched the sunrise from his porch in the new house he built by the lake. The house wasn't big, but it was his. Every nail, every corner, every line of the architecture was designed with purpose. He had built it not to forget the past, but to remember that he could start again.
He had also expanded his firm, hiring young architects who looked up to him not just for his designs, but for his calm leadership. The company had survived, and so had he. His friends often told him, "You could have destroyed them, Ryan. You had every right." But he didn't. He never used his anger to hurt. He used it to rebuild. That was his quiet revenge. Sometimes, though, the past came knocking. There was a Saturday afternoon when he received a call from an unknown number. He hesitated before answering. "Ryan?" The voice was soft, uncertain, but familiar. "Lily?" he said, calm but surprised. There was a long pause,